Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
Having the Bar Mitzvah boy Lein from the Torah. It is customary in many communities for a child who is approximating the age of Bar Mitzvah to be taught the trup, to be taught how to Lein the Tamei HaMikra, and he prepares his Bar Mitzvah parsha. And when the day arrives, he reads the entire parsha in shul in front of the entire audience, in front of the entire congregation, and essentially becomes the Bal Kairei for that week. What is the background and source behind this custom? When did it begin? Must one follow it? Should one follow it? Can you become Bar Mitzvah if you didn't follow it? What's it all about? So the custom of having the Bar Mitzvah boy Lein from his parsha, from his portion in the Torah, is actually very, very old. You see, it used to be that whenever somebody got an aliyah, there was no set Bal Kairei that stood next to him to read. The person who got the aliyah, which is called the oile, would read himself from the Torah. Every oile would read from the Torah. And essentially there was no position called Bal Kairei, as whoever was called up was the official Bal Kairei for that aliyah. This custom is recorded in the Beis Yosef, the Torah, the Tzemach Tzedek, who states it so applied until the times of Tosfos. Starting from after the times of Tosfos, the custom evolved slowly to having a set Bal Kairei with the person who receives the aliyah only saying the blessings and reading along silently. Now, certainly, until the times of Tosfos, when the Bar Mitzvah boy would customarily receive his aliyah on the day of his Bar Mitzvah, if it was Shabbos, or on the Shabbos afterwards, or on whichever other day he received his Bar Mitzvah aliyah, he would likewise read from the Torah like every oile. So certainly the idea of the Bar Mitzvah boy reading from the Torah by his aliyah is an old custom that was followed initially. And indeed, the old custom is to give the Bar Mitzvah boy an aliyah on the Shabbos after his Bar Mitzvah, or the first week after his Bar Mitzvah, as recorded in the Magen Avram, chapter 282, and other poskim. The question, however, is asked, what happens after the times of Tosfos, when the custom of the oile reading from the Torah stopped, and having a set Bal Kairei? Did the custom still continue for the Bar Mitzvah boy to read his portion from the Torah? As bringing a proof from what happened 800 years ago that's no longer applicable is not a proof at all for nowadays. So indeed we find in the poskim recorded even past the times of Tosfos, when the custom was for the oile to be quiet and hear the reading from the Bal Kairei, that nonetheless Bar Mitzvah boys would customarily read their parsha. So is recorded in the Magen Avram 225.4, the Maril and Hilchos Kriyas HaTorah, page 63, Yosef Aimitz, and other Achreinim. However, it is not clear at all if the intent of these poskim is that the Bar Mitzvah boy would simply read his parsha for his aliyah from the Torah, or if he would prepare to read from the entire Sedra, from the entire parsha of that week. Meaning, if his Bar Mitzvah is Parshas Mishpatim, would he read the entire parsha of Mishpatim, or would he simply read the aliyah that he was called for? Indeed, the Rebbe in a letter writes that the idea of a Bar Mitzvah boy reading the entire parsha is a very new custom, hence understanding that was not the intent of the above poskim, who stated that the Bar Mitzvah boy would read from the Torah. Practically, today the custom amongst Ashkenazi and Lithuanian communities is to have the Bar Mitzvah boy read the entire parsha, although this is not the accepted custom amongst Chassidim. And now we'll get to the Rebbe's opinion on the matter. Practically, the Rebbe was opposed to the above custom of having the child read his parsha on the Shabbos after his Bar Mitzvah, based on the following reasons. Number one, he stated it has no real source, and it is a new custom relatively. Meaning that the custom in Europe and in Russia, although may have been to have the Bar Mitzvah boy read his personal aliyah, it wasn't to have him become the Bal Kairei and read the entire Torah portion, the entire parsha. Now, being that it has no real source, the Rebbe suggests the following reason for why it should not be followed. As otherwise, what's wrong? Okay, so it doesn't have a source, but is it prohibited for the Bar Mitzvah boy to read from the Torah? There's nothing wrong to prepare his parsha. The problem is, says the Rebbe, that it takes away precious time from being invested into the real necessary preparations that the child must do before his Bar Mitzvah, such as learning and becoming an expert in the practical halachas that will become relevant to him after his Bar Mitzvah. Is he already a baki in Hilchos Birchas Hanenin, in Dinei Muktzah, in Dinei Shabbos, in Dinei Tefillah, in Dinei Tefillin? Is he already an expert in all these laws that he can now have the luxury of learning to become a professional Bal Kairei? In the Rebbe's words, however great the mitzvah reading from the Torah is, learning Torah assiduously is even greater. And we all know how much time it takes for a bar mitzvah boy to prepare for his parsha. Usually begins taking lessons from the beginning of the year, and the mental energy he has to expand and invest into it is tremendous, so he doesn't make any mistake in public. And it takes away vital time and energy from being invested into the more necessary preparations. This was the Rebbe's opinion, and this is why amongst Chassidim in general, amongst Chabad Chassidim in particular, we do not educate our children religiously to learn their parsha for the Torah by the Shabbos of the Bar Mitzvah. If a child happens to be adapted to leining, he has a good voice and he catches on well, and he's able to invest plenty of time in the other necessary matters, so it's another story. This a general rule to universally apply it to every child is not followed amongst Chassidim and is not followed amongst Lubavitch. And rather, the child is to be educated to place emphasis on the more important preparations necessary for him becoming a member of the Jewish nation.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.